First of all, can you bring us up to date with the injury? Jordi Osei Tutu in particular?
Yeah, Geordie just felt that hamstring again. So we'll have to see how he goes before Derby. It's been a little bit stop-start for him with that. So we'll have to make a decision whether he's going to be included at Derby. We'll see how he goes. See how he goes today, basically, and make a decision today to whether he travels with us or not.
Any chance of Joe Bennett being back?
Yeah, there's a chance. Again, probably another one needs to be on the training pitch today to see how he goes. But in his absence, I thought Joel was excellent again. And we'll just go from strength to strength with the more minutes he plays on the pitch. But certainly hopeful of having Joe back in the group as well. But it's probably another one with, again, it's another hamstring where you have to be careful, but you also want important players as well. So we'll see how he goes this morning, and we'll make a decision to whether he travels also.
I was listening to Pep Guardiola say, I think injuries are up 47% this season, something like that. Is that something you're acutely aware of? Maybe Jordi, was he put him back in too early or what?
I don't think it's a question of putting him back in too early. I think it's obvious. There's a lot more injuries. We're a squad and a manager that very rarely, touch wood, suffers from soft tissue injuries. We're very disciplined and study a lot of data and very careful with the players. And there's a huge work goes behind the scenes in the gym and on massage tables, but in the gym in particular, we're preparing players for training and games. So I'm surprised with the injuries, but when you think about the logistics of it, we're in uncharted territories with turnaround of fixtures, with turnaround of games, the amount of minutes that's put on players at the moment is intense, and I think it's just obviously when you look back with a little bit of hindsight, it's obvious that you're going to pick injuries up. I know 3 clubs at the weekend that lost players in the warm-up. Barnsley was certainly one of them, lost 2 players in the warm-up, I believe. So, uncharted territory, as I said, we have to just make sure we try and prepare the players as much as we can, protect the players as much as we can, but also you have to push them as well, because you want your best players on the pitch, you want important players on the pitch, and they are athletic young men, and you always want them to progress. But maybe managers, all of us, me included, have to just maybe take a step back and realise that it is different. And it's a fine line, Rob, isn't it? Do you push or do you go safe? Hindsight's a wonderful thing. It's my job to try and find that balance.
Yeah, and I suppose managers always say how important pre-season is, but nothing has proved this more than this season, when virtually every club didn't have a proper pre-season. Well, no club did have a proper pre-season. And so therefore, maybe that's starting to show now.
I think that's where lockdown key. I think everybody just assumes that lockdown was 3 months off for players. No one done anything. It was a majorly intense period for the players, because they was asked virtually and do gym work. So that, on top of then the start of the excitement of the 9-game season, we've got everybody going, fans, staff, players alike, and then it was the quick turnaround. And was there enough rest period after that intense sort of strange 4 or 5 months? No, there wasn't. But if we didn't do it, if the EFL didn't arrange the fixtures and the governing bodies put these fixtures in, then we wouldn't have a football programme. So what's right, what's wrong? Again, we're learning on our feet. I think we just have to accept that we are going to pick injuries up over the course of the season. It's just how many you can limit them to is going to be vital.
Saturday wasn't a great spectacle, because games against, I hate to say, Neil Warnock's teams never are a great spectacle. Do you expect a different sort of game tomorrow night against a Derby County side who play, totally different way?
Yeah, I think you won't see a Derby team that play similar to what they did a few months ago when they came to the Cardiff City Stadium in great form and great results. I think they're a team that's finding their way a little bit at the moment. Got good players and important players back into the group, like Whitecorn and Lawrence, and big players for them. So they've got some attacking intent, and changed the system from last year. But they do want to pass the ball. It will be a completely different game from the other evening. We have to make sure we handle the game in different ways to the other evening, where it becomes a physical battle. This one is you have to have great shape, good pressing triggers, then you have to be majorly organised against Derby County sides. But then when we've got the ball, opportunities hurt them as well. And what we saw the other day was us create some great opportunities and ultimately didn't win the game because the opportunities we didn't take. So afterwards, it's disappointing we conceded the first goal when ultimately we are going to concede goals at times during the season. We haven't conceded many at the moment. At this point, the ones we have conceded. But if we take our chances the other night, we win that game 5. And that was my disappointment after the game, is that we should have won that fixture Saturday.
Is it becoming a real problem at home? In other words, let's look at Derby. Are you pleased to be? Are your players starting to think it's better to play away because the results are better?
Well, I think results show that we've been better away from home, but I think results in general across the Football League, teams have won more away games than home games. Preston have lost their home games. I think Derby have lost their home games, just in the league at the moment. I think what's the win percentage ratio away from home is over 50%, which is unheard of in footballing times. I don't expect that to change while there's no fans. It's a completely level playing field. In some ways, mentally, it's better to be away from home because you normally expect the worst when you go away from home. You expect an onslaught and a barrage of abuse from fans, and mentally you have to deal with that as well as physically. At the moment, you don't get that now. You don't get that, so it is 11v11. At home, no mental block, no conscious problem for us. We just have to find a way of making sure that we don't concede the first goal, and that's ultimately that's been the problem in the 4 games, is conceding the first goal and having to chase games at home. And we've done it well in the last 2 games. We almost did it very well coming from behind against Reading from 2 goals, but we can't keep doing that. And that's the one. Is that first goal mentality at home? That's what we have to address.
Harry Wilson goes back to a club where he probably had his best loan spell. You'd hope that would inspire him.
Yeah, I think he had a great loan spell. Scored a lot of goals for Derby a couple of years ago, but I think also doing his loan spell a bit of unjust last season when he scored 8 or 9 goals in the Premier League in a team that got relegated. So I think he's had two great spells. I think he started very well for us as well. He creates chances, great free kick deliveries, great corners, and he gets lots of shots off during the game. So he's a handful to play against. Enjoy seeing him every day in training. He's a real breath of fresh air as well within the group, personality-wise. And it'll just go from strength to strength.
When you say a breath of fresh air, what does that mean? The way he plays, or just the way he is around the place?
I think just everything. Robbie, he's good character. We saw that from day one. His smile on his face, loves playing football. Great to have two players. Just in particular, maverick players in the sense of you've got Lee Tomlin and Harry Wilson. Just players that play with a real air of freedom on the training pitch every day, and do things with the football that I couldn't do as a player. And everyone has different strengths, but that the way they play the game and vision they have is phenomenal. And it just takes standards of training up all the time. Those players are going to be key for us over the course of the season.
I mentioned Lee Tomlin. Is he anywhere near coming back yet?
Yeah, Tomo's been on the training pitch, so it's a real positive for us. Keeping him on the training pitch is key now, but we're certainly hopeful of having him some game involvement this week.
Oh, brilliant! So possibly on the bench tomorrow night.
Possibly. As always, day by day. What we can't do is push Tomo too soon and him fall off the edge of the cliff. We have to make sure that we're sensible with him. But we're really pleased how he's gone the last 7 days, really, and having him back on the training pitch and pain free is the main thing.
And last one, no Wayne Rooney. How much of an advantage is that? He serves the last of his enforced absence because he's self-isolated.
Yeah, Wayne obviously knows top player in world football, let alone the Championship. Huge personality in their group. I've seen quotes from their staff and big personality as well on the pitch. So I'm not sure it'd be a loss to any team. Whatever the team Derby put out tomorrow night is going to be a good side. So Wayne Rooney will know Wayne Rooney. We have to be our best to win the game.